The battle for the deputy president's seat continues to take shape ahead of the 2027 general election. Speaking in Matatu constituency in Embu County, Deputy President Kindiki declared that he is not relinquishing the position, even as political forces begin positioning themselves for the next election. Kindiki was speaking during a solemn assembly of Mount Kenya East elders tasked with charting the region's political direction ahead of 2027. Grace Nganga reports.
The message from Deputy President Kindiki was unequivocal.
The position of the Deputy President is not vacant. Haiko wazi, iko na mwenyewe, na imekaliwa sawa sawa.
Kindiki was speaking in Matatu constituency, Embu County, where he met Mount Kenya East elders during a solemn assembly convened to deliberate on the region's political future. The elders have been tasked with finding a way forward for the wider Mount Kenya region ahead of the 2027 general election, with the consultations expected to culminate in a position by the end of the year. But even as the elders began that process, Kindiki appears keen to draw a line around his own political position.
Hata wale watu wanaongea hapa wanaongea, lakini wanasema lakini huyu mtu tu ako sawa.
His declaration comes against the backdrop of growing debate over who could occupy the deputy president's seat in 2027. ODM has already indicated that it expects a share of the equation, arguing that its decision not to field a presidential candidate in favor of President William Ruto should be reflected in the next power sharing arrangement.
ODM watadai wapate deputy president na yule mtu ambaye amekomaa, amekuwa na baba miaka na milele, ambaye amekuwa waziri, ambaye amekuwa deputy party leader wetu, anaitwa Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya.
But Kindiki's message is clear. The position is not up for grabs. And from Matatu, he also took aim at his predecessor, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Kindiki accused Gachagua of allowing his ego and insults to get in the way of political engagement, warning that his approach could eventually embarrass him.
Ukisikia nakuita ndugu yangu, sio ati nakuogopa, sio ati nakupenda sana, kwa sababu uko na madharau mingi. Mimi najaribu kukupenda, lakini uko na madharau mingi. Na wacha kunidharau. Mimi nimekuwa mambo mingi, wewe sijui ulitoka wapi ukapitia hapa, na hiyo shortcut ndio imesababisha hii hasara yote.
Kindiki also sought to draw a contrast between his conduct and that of Gachagua, saying he never insulted his predecessor during his 2-year tenure as deputy president and even after Gachagua was impeached.
Ni vile nimekuwa nimekimya, na umezunguka hapa na vijana wakizunguka gari yako hapo wakisema one term. I dare you to continue with that nonsense. I will deal with you. My brother, I promise you I will deal with you. Hiyo kimbelembele ndio ilikuondoa ofisini. And I told you, na mimi sitaki kukua kama wewe.
For Kindiki, however, one thing appears settled. The deputy president's seat may become a major subject of political negotiations ahead of the next election. But as far as he's concerned, he is already sitting in it and he is not leaving. Grace Nganga, KTN.
Tomorrow, Homa Bay will become the center of Kenya's political storm. The Linda Mwananchi movement heads into the